Please rise for the national anthem. All right, guys. You know the song. You know the song. This is the Wiz national anthem from SSALTW. Great series over there. And just like in SSALTW, Newsweek investigated Wiz. And unlike in SSALTW, where Ethan Shea is trying to figure out ways to weaponize and protect against the dangers and horror that Wiz can fall upon the world's geopolitics, Newsweek is trying to link, quote, hot girls, end quote, to the far right. So let's go over to Michael Knowles, who has an amazing take. I don't know, I just saw this video, but I'm pretty sure he has an amazing take on the subject, and then I'll get to my own take on the subject because I have to say stuff too here because I can't just steal the content about this. So let's go.
This week has a hot scoop. Pull over your car if you're driving. Please sit down if you're standing up.
All right, let's go. Also, again, obligatory. And I know I said this in the last one on folks, depending on how upload these, please don't sell cigars and cigarettes. You're killing your own fan base. I want Michael Knowles and his fans to live a long, prosperous life. Okay?
How hot girls became the right's new obsession.
Which also, me, of course, being the great teenage influencer that I am, being the great moral authority that I am, being the great, person who doesn't want schools to get caught up in national security issues between wars like, I don't know, cool wars like GCAM, JVN, or something like that. Cool, as in, like, missiles didn't get launched towards the other side and we end up in nuclear annihilation. Wouldn't, of course, use that term or phrase in any context whatsoever, ever. Nor, of course, we have a policy here that, not to call anyone pretty or just not to call anyone anything. Right? That is a recurring theme throughout the SSALTW series. And rightfully so. Because, who knew that my policy on not calling people attractive or not calling them attractive would help me not get linked to the far right, which, I already been linked to the far right, even in 2022. Joined Dr. B one day, I'm already boots on the ground. Oh my goodness, this kid wants to ban condom vending machines or whatever. Like, what? People are crazy. Anyway, my one policy actually helps me out. Of course, I've already been linked. There's 2 years of videos back. So, it's unhelpful for me here. But if I was starting now, I would have a leg up. Also, unfortunately, most people do not have the shielding technology to be able to presuppose the attacks, I guess, of Riz upon them, right? So that means that would include them. Unfortunately, these attacks don't really do anything to change their brain chemistry. Like, as you guys know, crushes, unfortunately, do not turn you right wing. So I don't really know what Newsweek is doing here. Also, Sydney Sweeney is dating someone, so she's not going to date you. That's ridiculous, people. You're crazy. Also, she's most known for, of course, her work with Samsung. She uses the Galaxy Z Flip 5, which also would turn off 90% of people because, lots of people say that, yeah, they have an iPhone today and whatever. But, people are crazy. But, good on her for using a Samsung, being that Samsung Galaxy Unpacked. I applaud her for that. But though the people saying that her artificial intelligence image is like, oh my goodness, she loves it. She's an actress, okay? That's also what she's known for. And she was pretending, okay? She probably also wanted the Galaxy Z Flip 6 as well. Anyway, digressing from the Galaxy Z Flip 6 and Galaxy AI, which are both good phones, apparently. I am tech reviewer first and foremost. Let's get back to Michael Knowles.
Stop the presses. These crazy right-wingers.
It's kind of crazy. How can you be looking at Sydney Sweeney, who's apparently like 27 years old, when you have an election to do? Like, is she campaigning for you? Because if she was campaigning, then fine, whatever. And am I going to say that she's like hot or not? I don't know. Okay, we only use science for that. That's why we have our scanner on our phone, right? The scanner will help choose who the best people are. We can't go based upon what's in your own brain because, of course, your brain could be faulty. But let's move on.
Are attracted. They like beautiful women.
Which is also kind of weird. Imagine sitting around and looking at beautiful women. Doesn't that sound terrible?
And it opens up. It all began with Sydney Sweeney's cleavage, and it talks about how people on the right sort of like that Sydney Sweeney. I think we've reached peak.
Sydney Sweeney. What has he ever done for America? Except for promoting Samsung. Promotion of Samsung is good and moral and just and should be done more often. Maybe it could become our 28th Amendment, make it our national phone. But apart from supporting Samsung, what has he ever truly done for the good of America? What?
It's been building for a long time, certainly since the 1960s, probably since the 1760s.
What?
But
are you on drugs or something?
We've now reached the point where left-wingers are scratching their heads, drooling and befuddled.
Wait, is he blaming 17? She's saying me when George Washington was like, what? How, like 30? You going that far back? Good grief. Oof. Man, go. Oof.
Because conservatives like beautiful women.
I don't think that's no thing. Okay. Okay, let's give an answer to here. Okay, as you guys know, most of the kids from my presidential run, my historic, unprecedented presidential run in 2022, when I was getting attacked in press conference because I didn't want to install condom vending machines in the bathroom. Right, so you can see how liberal the school is. I would say that most of the boys there, except for me, okay, security policy, would admit that they liked pretty, allegedly, people. So I don't think that's a right-left thing. Second of all, and I talked about this on Not the Boy. You guys should really sign up, free social media site. A Reddit poll said that unfortunately, and this is not poll, but it's actual study, but it's posted to Reddit, that unfortunately, most people have sex, premarital, obviously, by the age of 17. And that was factoring in everybody, even older people, which means that if you were to take out the people under the age of 18, we would very obviously, very, very obviously, the age would be lower, maybe 15, 13, 14 years old for the teenagers, if you just did a poll of, say, 13 to 17-year-old people. Yeah, so I don't really think that's a left-right issue, because most conservative people obviously aren't having premarital sex, right? Well, hopefully they aren't. The left-wing kids are, and that's why I think we should probably ban it. Yeah, it should probably be banned, honestly. I probably should have told to the kids, yeah, we should put the vending machines in, but then have them type in their ID, and we have the special secret forces intercept them and throw them in detention for 3 weeks. That would have stopped them in their devious ways. Anyway, let's go.
It is good. For those who are confused, for the Newsweek editors, it is good.
It is good
to have an affinity for beautiful women.
Are you sure about that? Are we sure about that? I mean, what? I mean, isn't there like a story about how some woman's face launched 1,000 ships or something like that? What good has liking Sydney Sweeney ever done for America? All right, I'll be waiting here. If I wanted to edit this video, maybe I'll put dial-up sounds underneath it. But I really don't think what good that has done for America. Okay, you might be thinking, well, you hypocrite, you are an Ava Harper, who, by your own scientific metrics, scored a perfect 10 out of 10 on your face ranking application. And to that I say, she's doing good for America because she's going to make me money. And by making me money, then I will do good for America. But Sydney Sweeney, the only thing that she's done good for America is promoting literally Samsung's worst phone, because it is a $1,000 pocket mirror. Okay. But anyway, let's move on.
More broadly, it is good to have an affinity for beautiful.
Also, it's really funny how Michael Knowles always says good, and he goes into some philosophical, metaphysical thing about, like, when you're talking about Sydney Sweeney, who's like 27 years old here, we're not talking about the ancient Pope of the Catholic Church from circa 1422. I think there was a Pope back then. You can fact check me.
things and persons and creatures and ideas in general.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. Ideas are more important than, say, if a certain person is allegedly ecstatic.
That's good.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
It's good to be attracted to beautiful things.
It's also kind of weird because he's, again, dating someone. So why would you be attracted? Like, why would you waste time and money? Not money, but the thought process of being attracted to someone that you have no chance of marrying. That doesn't make sense. What a waste! What a waste of time! What a waste of computational power! You could be, I don't know, sitting around, plotting your next high school spy geopolitical story, making your next high school geopolitical moves. Thinking, should we invade G camp? Should we invade G camp? Right? You can be playing tic tac toe, the political games, tit for tat. Right? Go read not the beer or something. Go read a book. No, just sit around here and think about the goodness of Sweeney. Like no one cares. The article even goes on to talk about the Hawk Tua girl, who is a woman who literally got famous for talking about spit. I don't really know why. She has a podcast, the top 3 in America. Top 3 in America is wild. And we'll get into that article now because we know that soon, because we know that Michael Moses is going to go all philosophical on us. I mean, honestly, congratulations for her for saying something dumb, and people now want to hear every word that she says. But let's move on. Come on, Michael.
And it is good to be repelled by ugly things. And we don't want to be superficial about that. Certain people can,
that's
be a little.
Oh, dang, that's. Yes, people will be repelled by our ugly friends.
A little more homely or deformed or something, and the physical isn't all there is. So there's an interior reality that can be quite beautiful and that we should be attracted to also. But what the left educates for today
really
is a perverse attraction to things that are ugly, to things that are discordant, to things that are contrary to reason.
Which is kind of weird because in the same breath, y'all will claim that all the actresses and all the media in Hollywood is owned by them. It's in their hands. Those actresses didn't get there by being homely and ugly. Those actors didn't get there by being homely and ugly. So I mean, you guys gotta flip. Take your point. Flip a coin or something. Good grief. Anyway, let's move on.
The things that are absurd. That's what they educate for. And don't forget, we bring up Aristotle, at least 3 times a week on this show, but Aristotle has a lot to say about education, and he points out that education begins not just by stuffing facts into your head, but by cultivating tastes. That's why the left goes into the elementary schools and tries to cultivate, not even...
Do you realize how far we've left from Sydney Sweeney and the I forgot her name, girl?
Strong leftist ideology, but just tries to cultivate disordered desires and appetites. That's why it's putting all into kindergartens, which we'll get to in just a moment. So it really is at first a matter of taste. This is why the left feels so threatened by pretty...
Threatened by a 27-year... Imagine being...
women.
Imagine being threatened. Okay, no, you know what I'd tell them? I'd stand up and be like, nah, look, this is high school, okay? We have battles to fight. We have geopolitics to do, okay? Right? We have important stuff to do, okay? So let's cut, okay? Let's film our news episode, okay? And let's just do that, okay? Just into 2 boys. Good grief. Turn off your filters. Turn on your filters. You cannot get swayed by that. How can you feel threatened? Oh my gosh. She wore a dress. I'm so threatened. Are you people on drugs? Threatened. Anyway, let's just keep moving. Come on.
Now, it opens up on the bit about Sydney Sweeney's cleavage. Of course, the attraction to beautiful things needs to be circumscribed by morality and ethics, and we don't want to become lecherous. We don't want to become vain or lustful or anything like that. That's also going to redound to the benefit of the left. But the basic attraction to beautiful things, that is the key political flame.
And yeah, we're out of here. We're not going to talk about how she's the key political flame to retaking America. So let's go over to the article itself, right, before we go down that rabbit hole. And they go through blah 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 blah. All right, and they distance themselves. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. And here it says, quote, conservative hot girls have one thing in common besides implied explicit political values, according to this person at Delaware. It said that the, quote, hot woman, she told Newsweek, is narrow and conventional definition of sex appeal or hotness. It needs to run countercultural to change. And she's saying this because she feels that conservative hot girls are, quote, yeah, there it is, white women. She says that like it's a bad thing. Here's the problem, okay? And I know you guys, kind of bad at math. Okay, right, okay. So barring me, who has shielding technology on my brain, 60% of the United States of America is white. That is what we call a super majority. Therefore, most people are going to find white people attractive. I know it's kind of hard for you guys, math, but that's how it works. And since it's a majority, 60 versus 13, of the people and of the races are also going to want to emulate that style, which the consensus of people, white, black, Hispanic, have all agreed is the best. But you had to drag race into this somehow. I mean, and Michael's trying to drag politics into it, but that's his job. But race, whatever. And also, please, there's something wrong with all of y'all. Anyway, God bless. Talk to you later.